Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we post videos, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description to our Discord and our Facebook options trading group. And if you enjoy the live streams, if you like the content on the live streams, hit the link below. We spun off the live streams to its own channel to have its own home, kind of organize the content in a different way. So if you like the live streams, you want to tune in, link is below. We moved it. It's no longer on this channel. So if you like the live streams, subscribe. We go live 30 minutes after market close, Monday through Friday. And what we're going to get into right now is we're going to be looking at my watch list, also what I'm thinking for this week ahead. I think this week is going to be a little tricky, mainly due to we have the Fed tomorrow. However, I think that the Fed's not the play because there's really not much of a chance that they're going to change the rates. Now, if they do change the rates, it's going to be even more difficult this week, because if they change the rates, up or down, right now the market's pricing in that there's not going to be any rate change. That's going to be flat. That they're not going to do anything. That they think that we're more in a wait and see mentality. Now, if they do, that's going to be different. So we'll cover that later. So we'll see what the Fed has to say. But right now it's pricing in everything's going to be flat. No rate change. No move up or down. So no decrease or increase. So we'll see what happens. All eyes this week are going to be on Trump and China, or the U.S. and China, whoever's making the decision for a potential phase one deal. So right now we have till December 15th, which is Sunday night. Right now it's only Monday. We have till Sunday to decide if we're going to have a deal or not. If there's no deal, supposedly more tariffs are going to be put in place on December 15th. So we're really going to see what happens with that. But so far, I'm leaning more towards no deal. Right now the market, SPY is down. I'm currently short the 315 calls. So we'll see what happens to SPY. Right now, SPY moved down a little bit. Right now I'm holding the line at 315 only for this week. I'm thinking that if things are going to be more flat than really have any catalyst. I don't think people are going to be loading up big on the stock market right before this announcement, and honestly I think if anything they're going to be reducing some risk. Now we did have a big swing in SPY, last week, went from 307 back up to 315. So we'll see what happens. I'm thinking we'll probably sell around like between 310 and 312 this week is kind of what I'm betting on. So we'll see what happens, but right now we need to see if there's going to be a deal or no deal, and I think that could be announced at any time. Obviously they're going to push this to the very end probably, but you never know what's going to happen. Stocks that I'm looking at right now, CHWY. Right now I did do an earnings play, and right now it's currently the best scenario for me. I need this between like 21.5 and 27, and right now it's at 23.85. It closed at 24.18. Right now it's at 23.80, so I'm right exactly my sweet spot. I did sell some premium. I was looking to see if it's going to retest some lows here. Other thing about CHWY is the lockout period expires on a Wednesday, so insiders are able to sell starting Wednesday from the IPO. So we're definitely going to see what happens with CHWY, but I'm looking, hopefully this closes flat tomorrow. Currently it's flat, so we'll see if I can collect some premium in that for tomorrow. Another one that I'm looking, SFIX just reported their earnings as well. They did better than expected. Obviously they're up over 10% right now. And what I'm looking for is a push to the 30 to 32 range. So I'll see if I could hop on a day trade on the dip. So hopefully this dips down tomorrow a little bit. I'm able to get into a trade between the to run it up to 30 or 32 range. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully this drops down to like the 26 range. I'm able to buy in on the dip. CGC is another one that I'm looking at, and CGC, they had news today about the CEO, and they're going to have a new CEO, and this popped up to 21.49. Last couple times here, let me look here. Last couple times they've been selling off at 21.5, 21.80. Last time it came up here was on that news that Drake was taking percentage of CGC, and he's getting into the business. And right now it's right at that line. Typically sometimes I was a little skeptical. I wanted a short, but I was a little skeptical because a lot of times with new CEOs, they try to have the turnaround story of, well, we're going to do all these changes and really hype investors and hype people to buy the stock. So I really wanted to give it some room to breathe here and see what was gonna happen with CGC. Is this gonna pop up to 22, or is it gonna really stop out here? So this could really run. If it does break above 2150, 2180, 22 and 2350 is kind of where we're looking at. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, I'm starting to prepare for a trade in Lulu and Lululemon. And they have earnings on, let's see here, Wednesday after close. So they have earnings Wednesday after close. I'm looking to sell some premium. Excuse me. I'm looking to sell some premium in here, and IV is really high. What I'm thinking right now is that things are kind of priced in. I do think Lululemon's going to be the earnings are going to be pretty good. However, I think that this run is more priced in, so I think that this is going to be priced in to the earnings. So I'm going to be looking to sell some sort of iron condor or some sort of neutral play on here. So I'm starting to trade that direction. However, if they miss big, this could be pretty bad. This could definitely come down 200 area. Right now the expected move for this week is plus or minus $17. Next week is 20. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably sell some premium going into next week. We'll see what happens, but that's what I'm looking for on Lululemon. I'm starting to prepare a trade on there. Also, Netflix is another one on my list right now. So Netflix, I had a bad entry last week, lost some money on it, but I do like this bounce around the 300 area. It has been bouncing pretty good last few times around 300, 301 area, so I'll be looking to take a position down here if we can get a little lower. It did hit 298 after hours, but it bounced right back up to 301. Ackman is supposedly, he put a new position on in Netflix. Now that's probably a bad thing for the stock since Ackman has such a terrible history lately and track record over the last couple of years. But I like where it's sitting here at the 300 area. However, I'm very hesitant to get too long anything. And probably this week I'm going to be just selling some premium. I'm not looking to take very heavy positions. Netflix popped up to 311 today and then dropped down to 302.50. It closed at 302.50 at the daily low here. So that's not looking good. So we'll see what happens here, the 300 area, but I'm not looking to get too aggressive. I'm not like going in full bullish, and the positions that I have on this week, I'm going to keep relatively small because, like I said, anything could happen. I want to be flexible. I want to be liquid. I want to be able to take advantage of the market moves. I'm not looking to make a lot of money this week. I'm not looking to risk a lot of money this week. I'm just looking to make good, accurate, precise trades, build the confidence up, because last week, as you guys know, based on my video on Friday, I went through my trades. I was red last week, so I'm really trying to be conservative, have a plan, stick to it, and not get too crazy. And this week actually is probably not a bad week to take off if you're thinking about staying out of the game, because with the Fed, with the Trump news and the trade news, and we also, Trump is also fighting impeachment right now. They have the impeachment hearings, so Twitter's been fire. So sometimes you never know what's going to be said or what's going to be done. And this week, honestly, I think is a gamble. We went up a ton last week. We started to come down a little bit today. I'm thinking we're going to sit more flat until a decision can be made on the trade war, the tariff news. And honestly, this thing could go on for quite some time because it's now been close to 2 years since we've had this trade war, over 2 years now. Almost, whatever. Doesn't matter. But we're thinking about a phase one deal. And honestly, what's going to happen once we stop to, let's say we do reach a deal for phase one, then we're going to start talking about phase two. And phase two, then phase three. So this could be ongoing for quite some time. So we'll see if they're going to roll back tariffs, if this is going to push the market up, or what could happen here. Let's say they raise tariffs on Sunday. There's no deal. Do we sell off the remaining 2 weeks in December And if so, could we come back down to the 300 area, 305 area? I mean, obviously, for us to go red on the year doesn't look really probable, because we'd have to come down to like the 246, 245 area to become red on the year, which is not likely, but anything could happen. But I don't buy the 240 puts for January 2020. Obviously this is not investment advice; it's just a joke. This is just the way that I see the market, the way that I'm looking at. Obviously not investment advice, but this is what I'm looking at this week. This is what I think. Let me know if you made this video, watched it to the end. Leave a comment, watch to the end. Drop your watch list below. And if you like this video, do me the favor, hit the like button. I definitely appreciate it. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.